So many of you know I've struggled with my health recently. The struggle became so real when I became seriously sick and was hospitalized for 9 days. It wasn't a lupus flare, it was a serious condition called pancytopenia. It's a condition where all three blood cells, the white blood cells, red blood cells, and platelets, become extremely low. It's also a condition that's common in lupus flares, so when my blood count was trending this way for weeks, my rheumatologist assumed it was the lupus flare. The problem was that I kept spiking up fever despite the medical interventions, and I kept feeling tired. I tried to brush it off and mentally push through, but the fever kept persisting. So I ended up in ER on May 22nd, and they found that I had a dangerously low white blood cell count, so began my hospital stay. They also verified that I had a staph infection in my blood with no white blood cells to protect and fight against the pathogen. So yes, I was septic. So I started my antibiotics. It took 6 different types of antibiotics until my body finally began to respond. So a little bit about sick care. I speak a lot about the state of healthcare today, but I must say, from my ER doctor to the specialists who oversaw my sickness in the hospital, they did an amazing job of saving my life. They really did save my life, and I'm so thankful for them. I will be on antibiotics for weeks, and it's a necessary evil for my sickness. And while I was unhappy about this, I knew it was exactly what I needed. I was so sick and in pain that I couldn't process what was happening. To go from being extremely healthy to sick so fast was super hard to adjust to. And up to this point, my lupus flares seemed so minor compared to what my body had to overcome in the last few weeks. So, healthcare. I don't think I was born with genetic advantage, as I have a twin sister who is as healthy as they come. I've always been a health nut, and my sister not so much. And this is evidence that for me, I've always known I had to work harder to create my health. And typically, medical intervention is toxic, and the doctors don't give you an aftercare plan. They get us from sick to stable, and it's on us to figure the rest out. The problem is that after an event such as the one I just experienced, your body has weakened from the meds and the infection. It's a great idea to incorporate functional medicine at this time to make sure to follow up with a good lifestyle plan to fully recover from such trauma to the body. And because if you leave your body to recover from an infection in such a way, it can trigger another symptom or disease process in such a way to affect your whole life. And when you do have symptoms years after such events in sick care medicine, they don't really put the two together. Rather, they treat the disease or the symptom that the patient presents with. So remember, health is truly wealth. I've never been so sick in my life. I got so close to a point where I felt I had to get my affairs in order in preparation for the worst case scenario. The pain was excruciating and I was debilitated. And many thoughts crossed my mind, and I'm sure I'll take some time to process them for me. But what I can tell you is that we all tend to take health for granted. So if you're listening, watching, or reading this blog post, please don't ignore the symptoms that you have or you've been having, especially symptoms that have been bothering you for quite some time. Health is something you must commit to creating. So I'm glad to be back in the office today, and I hope to see all of you over the coming weeks. So the inspiration for Alkaline Wellness Center comes from my personal health struggles. I saw a gap between healthcare and sick care, and I wanted to create a place where you can come and apply the alkaline method to help you live your healthiest life. And we're much more than a yoga center. We believe in mind-body medicine and mind-body connection and want to bridge the gap between health and sickness by showing you what to do daily to enable you to protect your health. Life is fleeting, and it's so great to attend a class and breathe, to create room in your day for self-care, self-exploration, and introspection. I'll share more insights that may be of benefit for you, but I wanted to personally thank you for taking the time to read this blog. Come visit our center and try a class. In the least, I'd like to simply provide you with inspiration that triggers you to act. Please visit us at alkalinewellness.com and get social with us at Alkaline Wellness on both Facebook and Instagram to stay connected. Talk to you soon.